Good day, travelers of Middle-earth. This is Gwaihir, Lord of the Winds, and I am pleased to bring to you yet another special video playthrough of my favorite card game, The Lord of the Rings, the card game by Fantasy Flight Games. In this video, I will be playing through the second scenario in the Voice of Isengard Deluxe expansion, and I'll be using the same deck that I used in the previous post, in which I played through the first scenario, the Fords of Isen. So if you want to check out that video, you can go to my blog, totheerie.wordpress.com, and see how I fared in that first quest. In this one, however, we're going to go and get orders from Orthanc and to catch an orc. And so this is one in which we have to chase down Mugash, the orc, who's causing a lot of problems in the mountains, and try to find him. And so with that being said, let's start our opening hand and get started here. Our starting threat is at 27. I'm using the new Gondorian Ranger Malblanc. I really like how well balanced he is, and his ability works well, especially paired with Pippin when you're wanting to engage enemies. He allows you to draw cards. Malblanc gets you resources. And then also I wanted to use Leadership Boromir, as I think, he's not as good as his Tactics brother, but I like to use him in a Gondor themed deck and just try him out. It's not the most powerful deck, but if you want to see the deck list, you can go to my blog and I post all of the deck notes and all of the cards in the deck there. So here I'm looking for Visionary Leadership. It's a nice attachment to give me questing capability. Not seeing it here, so we're going to take a mulligan and draw again. I have 3 in the deck, so I should be able to find it. Oh, and I have good card draw, as you saw, Darren's Runes and Deep Knowledge. So I'm hoping to get it in my opening hand, if not the second turn. Cut the deck again and draw 6 cards. Okay, and there it is. This is looking pretty good. We have Elrond and Wealth of Gondor, so we'll be able to put Visionary Leadership right away on him. And so with that hand, we'll begin the setup. And so quest card 1A, Orders from Orthanc. Saruman has asked you with a dangerous mission. Journey to the Misty Mountain's southern peak in search of an orc, Mugash, and capture him alive. Setup. Each player removes the top 20 cards of his deck and places them aside in an out-of-play deck. The first player takes Mugash plus 1 Mugash Guard for each other player in the game and randomly shuffles 1 face down into each player's out-of-play deck. Place any remaining copies of Mugash's Guard aside out of play. And so this is a very unique quest in which you shuffle the enemies into your own deck. And because we're only playing solo, only Mugash will get shuffled into my deck. And so what you do is take the top 20 cards, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and you shuffle them in there. He's got the player card back, so we don't know where he's going to be. And some people don't like this quest. I've actually played through this a number of times already. I've lost twice, and one time it took over an hour to find Mugash. And so I'm hoping for a shorter victory in this video playthrough so I don't bore you guys to death. And just so you're wondering, I don't win every game, but I like posting the videos that actually go through the whole quest, whether I win in the end or not. So we shall see. So we'll put them over there as our out-of-play deck, and we'll go to 1B, Orders from Orthanc, to catch an orc. Mugash and his orcs have been raiding the surrounding countryside from their hidden lair in Mithadras, and carrying loot and captives back into the mountains. It's time to put an end to this menace. When revealed, each player searches the encounter deck for a mountain location and adds it to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck, then advance to stage 2. And so, I think we'll get one of these Mithadras locations, 2 threat. And these introduce a new keyword to go along with the out of play deck. And the keyword is search. This one has search 3. And what search does when you explore it, it tells you to search 3, and you reveal the top 3 cards of your out of play deck, and you're allowed to put 1 player card into your hand. You have to discard the rest, and if you find an enemy, in this case it will be Mugash, you have to put him into play in the staging area. So that's how you find Mugash, and that's how we advance to the next stage. So we'll read this 2A. Orcs prowl the mountainside on the lookout for intruders. A single horn call from one of the sentries would have every orc in Mathedras scurrying out of their holes to fight. You must move carefully to avoid detection while you search for their captain. Time 2. Forced. After the last time counter is removed from this stage, shuffle the discard pile into the encounter deck and reveal 2 encounter cards per player. Place 2 time counters on this stage. Response. After questing successfully, cancel all progress that would be placed on this stage. Then, place 1 time counter on this stage. Or if Mugash is in play, advance to stage 3. And so, in order for that response to trigger, it's been ruled by Caleb that you actually have to place progress on the quest card. So even if you quest successfully, you still have to make enough progress that would actually go on here to put an extra time counter on the quest card. It doesn't make it very clear in the text, but that's how it works. So we'll put 2 time counters here, and hopefully that forced ability will not trigger, because that's bad news to reveal 2 cards. And so with that being said, our starting threat's 27. We're at 2B. We set everything up, and so let's begin round number 1. Start the resource phase, draw a card, and go to the planning phase. And so right away we want to get visionary leadership on Boromir. So we're going to play Envoy of Pelargir to do that. Pay 2, add 1 onto Boromir. Then play Visionary Leadership. As long as Boromir has a resource in his resource pool, all Gondor characters get +1 willpower. And we'll play Wealth of Gondor to put a resource on him, so his ability will trigger. So not only Gondor allies have plus an extra attack, all Gondor characters have an extra willpower, including Malblung, who's a Gondor ranger. And so with that, we will end the planning phase and go to the quest phase. So we're up against 2 threat already. So we'll send Lore Pippin for 2, Malblung for 3, and we will send, we'll go ahead and send Envoy of Pelargir as well for 2. So we have 2, 4, 7. Hopefully that's enough. And let's see what we got. Counter card is Mathedras Orc. 3 threat. Nasty guy. Okay, so we've committed 7 and we're up against 5. So 2 would go here, but instead we're told to put a time counter. And so now we'll go to the travel phase. No reason to travel here. While it's the active location, each location in the staging area gets +1 threat. And we're at 27 threat. His engagement cost is 30. And so we do not need to engage him just yet. He has 5 attacks, so I don't want to engage him. And so we will skip the encounter phase and then go to the end of the round. Refresh phase. Raise our threat by 1. Remove a time counter from the quest. Ready, everyone, and let's go to round 2. Start the resource phase and draw a card. Okay. So let's get Errand Rider in play for 1. And could play for the Outrider by moving a resource over to him. But I think we'll leave him ready for questing. And so we'll commit to the quest. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, hopefully that will be enough. Okay, and see what the encounter card is. Okay, it's a prowling wolf. Nasty looking guy. And he has 3 threat. So we're up against 6, and we only sent 8. So we make 2 progress on the active location, Mithradraus, which is not enough to complete it. So we don't get to put a time counter on the quest. And Prowling Wolf is at 28, we're at 28, so he's going to come down and engage us. Malblung does get a resource, but we don't get to draw a card because we're at the same. Actually, we do get to draw a card. Pippin raises his engagement cost to 29. Almost forgot about that. So we'll engage him anyways, so we can draw a card. Get a resource on Malblung and draw a card. And it's the Steward of Gondor. Just what we needed. And so Prowling Wolf, while engaged with the player, he gets +1 attack for each location in the staging area. There are none in the staging area. And so, let's see, do we want to take this undefended? Or do we want to defend with Boromir? See, we don't know what the shadow card's going to be. Let's deal him a shadow card. And Boromir won't be enough to kill him this turn. So let's defend with Boromir, just in case. And nothing for the shadow effect. So Boromir defends for 2, nothing happens. We could play behind strong walls, but we'll save that. And so we'll go to the refresh phase. Refresh everyone. Raise our threat by 1, we're at 29. Remove a time counter, there's 1 left, so we have to make sure we make enough progress this turn. And start the next round. Resources, and draw a card. Okay, another Visionary Leadership. We won't be needing that. So let's play the Steward of Gondor on Boromir. And we'll exhaust it to put 2 resources on him right away. Pay 2 from Malblung to put into play Westfold Outrider. And then we'll exhaust Errand Rider to move a resource from Malblung. Actually, move a resource from Boromir to Pippin to put 3 to put into play Elrond, the new ally. Don't like the art, but like the card. And we'll draw a card with him. There's no damage to heal and no condition attachments, so we'll draw a card. And there's our wizard friend. Okay, so now hopefully we have enough to quest through with Elrond into play. So let's send Pippin, Malblung, Envoy of Pelargir, and Elrond. And so that's a total of 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here we go. And it's the Orc Skirmisher, 3 threat. He has a nasty effect when he engages us. But we're up against 6, and we committed 10. So 1 goes here, and we're enough to put a time counter there. And now Mithradraus' forced effect takes place. We get to search 3. So what that means, we review the top 3 cards. Hopefully Mugash isn't here. Okay, wow, some card draw in Secret Paths. I think we'll get Darren's runes and put that into our hand. And why don't we go ahead and play that right away. Draw 2 cards. And we'll discard extra copy of Visionary Leadership since it's unique. Okay, so nothing to travel to. Encounter phase, he's at 31 with Pippin's effect, and he's at 34 with the extra threat. Engagement cost, so we don't have to engage any of them. They are pretty nasty characters, so I think we're just going to deal with this Prowling Wolf for now and call it a day. Although we don't want them to get locked up in there. So hopefully we can help that in some way. So the Prowling Wolf is going to attack, and he gets an extra attack for each location in the staging area, no locations. And so this one we're going to take Undefended and no shadow effect, and we'll put a damage token on Boromir. And to attack back, we'll send the Westfold Outrider and Boromir himself for 5. 1 defense, 3 hit points. The wolf is destroyed. Okay, we'll go to the refresh phase now. Refresh all the cards. Elrond's going to leave play. Remove a time counter. Raise our threat by 1. We're at 30. And I think we'll begin the next round. And nothing to play. So we'll add a resource. And draw a card. Another Errand Rider. So, let's see. First of all, let's exhaust Steward of Gondor. Put 2 resources on Boromir. Now he has 4. And I think it might be time to put in Gandalf. Hopefully we can get rid of those enemies. Yeah, Orc Skirmisher has a pretty bad engagement cost. Engagement effect. You have to deal 3 damage to a character or remove 1 time counter from the current quest. And so, let's play 1 from Malblung to put Horn of Gondor on Boromir. And then we'll play Mr. Gandalf. So we'll play 1 from Pippin. One from Malblung. And 3 from Boromir. So he keeps 1 in his resource pool. And Gandalf's ability, as much as I like to lower threat and draw cards, I think we need to get rid of this enemy in the staging area. So he has 4 hit points, so Gandalf will target him, destroying him outright. That will help with questing this round, and so we will enter the quest phase. We'll send Pippin. Let's see, we need 8 to kill him. And so I think we're going to have to sacrifice somebody. 3, 7. 8. Okay. So let's send Pippin and Malblung and Envoy of Pelargir. And so that will be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and we'll see what we get. Okay, good, it's a location with search 5. The Orc Cave. Okay, we're up against 6, and we sent 7, so we barely quest successfully, and we get to put a time counter on the quest. So that's great. And so we're going to have to travel to the Orc Cave. And this has a travel effect. Discard the X cards of the encounter deck to travel here. X is the number of players in the game. add each orc enemy discarded this way to the staging area. So hoping for an orc enemy, and it's a prowling wolf. He is a creature card. So he goes to the discard pile, and we luck out. Okay, we want to get rid of this Mithradra's orc. He would be at 30, but Pippin gives him an extra engagement cost. So he's at 31, we're at 30. So we'll optionally engage him. In order to trigger Malblung, we'll give him a resource, and Pippin's will get to draw a card. Excellent. And we'll play Deep Knowledge right away, since it's an event. Let's raise our threat by 2. We're at 32 now. To draw 2 cards. Excellent. Okay, let's go to the combat phase, deal him a shadow card, and he has a forced effect. When Mithradra's attacks, the defending player shuffles 1 random card from his hand into his out-of-play deck. So we got 6 cards here. And so the question is, do we want him to attack, or should we feint him? If we feint him, his forced effect does not trigger. But we have enough to kill him. That is a nasty effect. So yeah, let's feint him. Spend 1 from Malblung. And so he will not attack, and so we won't risk losing one of our cards in our hand. And so now we'll attack back. Boromir for 3, Gandalf for 4, Westfold Outrider for 2. And so that's 3, 4, 5, 9. 3 defense, 5 hit points, and he is destroyed. Alright, things are looking pretty good here. And so at the end of the round, of course, we'll ready everyone first. We will add a threat. We're at 33. Remove a time counter. And Gandalf is going to leave play, which triggers the Horn of Gondor on Boromir. Give him a resource. And I think that is all of it. Yep, so we'll start the next round. Resource phase, add a resource to our heroes and draw a card. Ooh, there's sneak attack. That's good to know we have those waiting. Okay. And so, let's see if we can get some more guys out here. Let's put in another envoy of Pelegir. We'll pay 1 from Pippin and 1 from Boromir. To put 1 on Malblung. To put in another Westfold Outrider. So Rohan is coming to Gondor's aid. Thematically appropriate. And could put in an Errand Rider. I don't see why not, so let's put in an Errand Rider as well. Okay. Still got a resource on Boromir. And we still haven't exhausted the Steward of Gondor. So we'll put 2 more on him. Okay. So now we'll go to the quest phase. We have nothing in the staging area, but we have to make 4 progress on the Orc Cave in addition to, more than that as well. So let's send a lot of our troops here. Send Pippin, Malblung. We'll send our Errand Riders. See, that's 2, 5, 6, 7. And send our... Well, there's a treachery in here that removes a time counter and deals 1 damage to each exhausted character. So let's send Boromir instead, and we'll just send one envoy, just in case. So we have 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. So hopefully that will be enough. So let's see what we get here. And it is a treachery. Orc hunting party. Deal each orc enemy in play a shadow card. Okay, there's no orc enemies in the staging area, so it gains surge. So we'll draw the next card. And it is Mugash's Lair. 4 threat. Yikes. At the beginning of the encounter phase, reveal the top card of each player's out-of-play deck. Add each revealed enemy to the staging area and discard the rest. Okay, so that's at the beginning of the encounter phase. So that might help us if we leave that in play. So we sent 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is that right? 2, 4. Oh yeah, we sent 11. So 11 minus 4 is 7. So we make 4 here. And when this is explored, we do a search 5. And we are going to make progress enough to put a time counter on there. So we'll do that before we forget. And we'll search 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. No Mugash. Okay, so we have good options here. Could get some card draw, or the Gondorian Shield, or healing. Is what I think the best ones are. I think we will get the Gondorian Shield, as much as I want some healing. I think we're doing alright right now. So we'll put the Gondorian Shield into our hand. No Mugash. So the question is, do we want to travel here? Because this forced effect will go off at each encounter phase. And so this will help us find Mugash. So I think we'll keep this out in the staging area. So we'll skip the travel phase, nothing to encounter. So we'll go to the resource or refresh phase. Ready, everyone? Add a threat, remove a time counter, and start the next round. Add resources, and draw a card. And there, I should have got the healer. Oh well. We could do well with 2 shields. And so let's put a Gondorian Shield. It is restricted. So Boromir now has 2 restricted items, the Horn of Gondor and the shield. And so, pay 1 from Malblung for that. Exhaust the Steward of Gondor. Put 2 resources on Boromir. Let's switch to using dice. So he's at 4, so he's at 6 now. And see, we don't need the extra shield yet. So we'll commit to the quest, and we'll send Pippin, Malblung, 2 errand riders, and envoy Pelagir. Oh, I forgot to do the forced effect from last round, so let's find. So we had to discard this top card of the deck from Mugash's Lair. Totally forgot that we had to do that right away. That's why we left it out there. But it wasn't Mugash, so it just gets discarded. We don't get to put that into our hand. And so now let's commit to the quest for this round. So we'll send 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And reveal the card. And it's Broken Lands. While it's in the staging area, progress cannot be placed on locations in the staging area. Okay, not bad. So up against 6, and we sent 9. So we get to put a time counter on the quest. travel here. Encounter phase, forced effect, reveal the top card of each player's out of play deck, discard it. And we'll end the round. Ready, everyone? Raise our threat by 1. We're at 35 now. Remove a time counter. And then start the next round. Add resources and draw a card. Okay. Defender of Ramos. We'll hold off on that, because we need to make a lot of progress here. We need to make 6. And so, might need to sneak in Gandalf to quest through here, because we have 4 up here, 6 here, that's 10 already. And so during the quest phase, I'm going to commit pay 1 from Boromir to play sneak attack and sneak in Gandalf and exhaust him and commit him to the quest. And with his effect, I'm going to draw 3 cards. Okay, some great cards there. And so we'll commit 4, 6, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's keep Boromir back. So 4, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we'll send 15. Hopefully that will be enough. Put those out there to remind us, because we need to make 6, 4, yep. So 15. And let's see what we get. And it's a Mugash's Lair. Okay. So we got 2 of those now. So we're up against 8. We sent 15. So that's 7. So just enough. We placed 6 here. And 1 on the quest. So the forced effect still has not triggered. And now we have the option of traveling to one of these, because I don't know if I want 8 threat being in here. So we'll travel to 1 during the travel phase, and during the encounter phase, both of their effects trigger. So hopefully we get Mugash. We'll do 1. Bye-bye Athelian Tracker. And 2. Bye-bye Defender of Ramos. Okay. And so we're ready, everyone. Go to the refresh phase. Before we go to the refresh phase, we'll exhaust Steward of Gondor. Never did that. Put 2 resources on him. And then we'll refresh everything up. Remove a time counter. Raise our threat by 1. We're at 36. And Gandalf leaves play. Or he would have left play earlier from sneak attack. So Horn of Gondor goes off on Boromir. Yeah, I forgot I played him with sneak attack, so he would have gone into my hand at the end of the quest phase. Makes no difference. And now we'll start the next round. Add resources. Boromir has 10 resources. And draw a card. And so now this is when we're all ready to go here. So we'll play Darren's Runes, draw 2 cards. There's another healer. We'll get rid of this extra shield. And we'll play Gondorian Fire on Boromir. So now he can defend for 4 or attack for a lot. Pay 2 from Pippin to put out Warden of Healing. And we'll play 2 from Malblung to put in Defender of Ramos. And with that, we will commit to the quest. And so we'll send 2 from Pippin, 3, so that's 5, 6, 7. Keep the healer ready. We don't want him to die, and we'll send both the Pelagir. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 it is, and here we go. To Treachery, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a location and adds it to the staging area. If the total threat in the staging area is less than the willpower of all characters committed to the quest, each orc enemy engaged with the player makes an immediate attack. Okay, there are no orc enemies, so basically we just search for a location and add it to the staging area. And we'll go to the discard pile and get Mithraedras. Don't need to shuffle that. And so we committed 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're up against 6, so 2 goes here. And we get to put a progress on the time counter on the quest. So the travel phase will travel to Mithraedras. And the encounter phase, Mugash's lair, triggers. Hopefully we find Mugash. No. Must be at the bottom again. Always seems to be at the bottom. And now we will, before we go to the refresh phase, we'll exhaust Steward of Gondor. Give Boromir 2 more resources. And now we'll go to the refresh phase. Oh, we'll exhaust Warden of Healing to heal 1 damage from Boromir. And now we'll go to the refresh phase. Hard to keep track of everything going on. Alright. Remove a time counter, raise our threat by 1. We're at 37 now. And begin another round. This is why a lot of players don't like this quest, because it can go on and on and on. Looking for Mugash. That makes it a challenge. Put 1 on Boromir, then we'll exhaust Steward of Gondor right away. Give him 2 extra resources, because he's going to need those for his Gondorian fire attack. See, I could play Deep Knowledge, but our threat is at 37 right now, so I think we'll hold off until we can lower it with Gandalf. Now we got a Secret Paths ready, so we should be alright. Send Pippin, Malblung, send our Errand Riders, and our Envoy of Pelagir for 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 again. So here we go. And it is a Prowling Wolf, and it has 3 threat. So we're up against 7, quested for 11, so 3 goes here, and just enough to place a time counter on the quest. And when this leaves play, we get to search 3, so hopefully Mugash shows up now. It's still no Mugash. Can't believe it. And so we'll get Sneak Attack. Put that into our hand. Encounter phase, we'll do the forced effect of Mugash's lair. Hopefully we'll find Mugash. And it's faint, no. And we're not going to travel there, of course. It's the only thing keeping us going. We'll engage the Prowling Wolf to give Malblung a resource. Pippin's effect does not trigger. But Prowling Wolf's going to attack for 2, since there's 1 location in the staging area. But we'll defend with Defender of Ramos. No shadow effect. He survives. And we'll attack him with Boromir for 3. And a Westfold Outrider for 4. For 5 total. He's destroyed. And we'll ready everyone back up. Remove a time counter, add a threat. We're at 38 now. And we will add resources. exhaust Steward of Gondor and give him extra 2. So now he has 18 resources, my goodness. And draw a card. And there's the attachment I've been looking for, Wingfoot. So we'll pay 1 from Pippin to put Wingfoot on Malblung. I was hoping he could quest and defend or attack, but I don't. Lost that Gondorian shield, so oh well. We'll pay 2 from Malblung to put another defender of Ramos in play, and we'll go to the quest phase. So Pippin, send Malblung, and Wingfoot we will name an enemy, so he'll ready if an enemy shows itself up. Aaron Riders, Envoy of Pelagir. And so we have 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 yet again. So here we go. And it's a location. So Malblung is not ready. But we're up against 6, so more than enough to put a time counter on here. We'll travel to Mithraidras. At the beginning of the counter phase, reveal the top card. Steward of Gondor gets discarded. And he must be right at the bottom. And then we will ready everyone back up. Remove a time counter, raise our threat by 1, 39. And start the next round. 3 more on Boromir, he's getting really beefy. And draw a card. And it's another Gandalf. So we're looking pretty good to finish this quest as soon as we find Mugash. These are just great cards to have in our hand right now. So we will send Pippin, Malblung, name enemy, Aaron Riders, the usual 11. And here we go, we'll name enemy, and it's an enemy, Orc Skirmisher. So Malblung does ready, because of Wingfoot. Now we sent 11, we're up against 7. So 4 goes here, so this only needs 3. And we barely pass yet again. And this Mithraidras has search 3. So we will search 3, and there's only 3 cards. So Mugash, look at that, he was the second to last one. And we get to put into play, put a card into our hand. I think we'll get Pelagir Ship Captain into our hand. So Mugash has finally decided to reveal himself. He was difficult to find. He has an engagement cost of 1, so he's going to come down and play right away. And after he's defeated, the first player attaches him to a hero he controls and exhausts that hero. Counts as a captive attachment. Attached hero cannot ready. If attached hero leaves play, the players lose a game. So we'll defeat him and then put him on our backs and head on out. But before that, we're going to travel to Mugash's lair. There is no out-of-play card, so it does not trigger. Actually, before we travel, we finally successfully pass 2B. So Mugash is in place. We advance to stage 3, the Wizard's Prize. You found Mugash, but the Orc captain won't be taken without a fight. He howls and rages against you with the ferocity of a concerned animal. All of the commotion is sure to draw more orcs to the fray. Yet you must subdue the huge Uruk before you can retreat down the mountain. Time 3, forced. After the last time counter is removed from this stage, return Mugash to the staging area and reveal X encounter cards. X is the number of players in the game minus 1. Place 3 time counters on this stage. Progress cannot be placed on this stage unless Mugash is attached to a hero. If the players defeat this stage, they win the game. So basically, we have to defeat Mugash and make 15 progress. And that should be no problem doing that. So we're going to travel to Mugash's lair. 3 time counters here. And we're at 39, so both of these guys are going to come down and engage us. So, engage both of them. Malblung only gets 1 resource because it's limit 1s per phase. But here's where the fun begins. I get to put all these combat guys to use. We'll deal shadow cards. And Orc Skirmisher, after he engages a player, the player must either deal 3 damage to a character he controls or remove 1 time counter from the current quest. And so we're going to deal 3 damage to a character we control. And we're going to put it on Boromir, because he has 5 hit points. That way no one dies, and we can heal him with Warden. And so Orc Skirmisher is going to attack for 4, with Defender of Ramos for 4. Attacking enemy makes an additional attack after this one. Okay, that's a nasty shadow effect. But we do have Behind Strong Walls, so we'll use that right away to ready a defending Gondor character and give him +1 defense. And so we'll defend again with Defender of Ramos. He's defending for 5 now. And if this attack destroys a character, remove 1 time counter from the current quest. Defender of Ramos is so strong, it does not destroy him. And Mugash is going to attack for 7. And so, who is willing to take the hit? I could ready up Defender of Ramos again, but he's going to die either way. So we'll send the Westfold Outrider to defend. Attacking enemy gets +1 attack, so he's attacking for 8. Westfold Outrider leaves play. Horn of Gondor triggers. So now he's at 22 resources. Insane. And now we attack back, so Boromir is going to enter his rage and pay 1 for Gondorian Fire to give him +21 attack, so he's attacking for 24. And that's way more than enough to kill Mugash. He only has 4 defense and 8 hit points. And we're going to attach this to Pippin. So Pippin's going to carry Mugash. Thanks, Pip. And Orc Skirmisher will attack him with Malblung for 2. Westfold Outrider for 2. And Defender of Ramos for 2, because Boromir gives him the extra attack. So that's 2, 4, 6. 2 defense, 4 hit points. Orc Skirmisher is destroyed. Before we refresh, we'll exhaust Warden of Healing to heal damage from Boromir. And now we will ready everyone, except for Pippin. He's carrying this big old orc. Can you imagine a little hobbit carrying a giant uruk? That just doesn't make sense. Maybe he's dragging him with some elvish rope, who knows. But regardless, we'll end the round, refresh phase, raise our threat to 40, remove a time counter, and enter the last round, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Exhaust Steward of Gondor right away. Give him an extra resource. And draw a card. One on Malblung as well. There's another Wingfoot. And so basically, let's just get enough questing power here to win. Pay 2 from Boromir. Pelargir Ship Captain. Don't really need to move any resources around. Let's see, we'll play Gandalf for 5. Pay 3 from Pippin. And 2 from Boromir. And with Gandalf's ability, we'll lower our threat, of course, to 35. And now we should have enough questing power. We need to make 15 here. So it might take 2 rounds. So let's see what we can do here. So we'll send Gandalf, Malblung, name enemy. Send our Errand Riders, Envoy of Pelargir, ship captain, and we'll send our defender of Ramos 2. And the only one we'll keep Westfold Outrider and Warden of Healing ready, just in case. We'll keep a defender of Ramos ready just in case as well. So that's 3, and Boromir ready, of course. 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's 16. That's not going to be enough. Send Boromir 2, an extra 2. So 2, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Alright, hopefully that will be enough. 18 willpower, and we'll reveal the card. And it's an enemy. The Orc Hunter, when revealed, either reveal an additional counter card or remove 1 time counter from the current quest. We'll remove a time counter from the current quest. And as soon as he's revealed, we will discard Westfold Outrider to engage him during the quest phase. Malblung would be ready because we did name enemy, but it would also give him a resource as well as Boromir for Horn of Gondor. So a lot of things triggering there. It's nice to see it all working together finally at the end of the game. But we did send 2, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 up against 0, 2 here, and 16 on the quest card. All we needed was 15. We have Mugash attached to Pippin, and we have more than 15 quest points, and so we win the game. So I hope you didn't fall asleep during that. I can understand why some players don't like this quest because it's random. Mugash could be on the top of your auto-play deck, or it could be on the very bottom, like he was in my case. So, comment about this video. What are your thoughts about it? I hope you enjoyed seeing this Gondor deck in action. In my next video, I'm going to go through the last scenario in the Voice of Isengard into Fangorn. So we'll see how they fare against the Huorn enemies. So until then, farewell wherever you fare, till your Eries receive you at the journey's end.